If you know me, you know that I'm a huge fan of goblin miniatures. I love everything about them. They're nasty, they're mean, but they're also really cute and like almost harmless. I think goblins are one of the greatest fantasy inventions ever. I love goblins in all sorts of different media. The Lord of the Rings has great goblins. Labyrinth with David Bowie is probably my favorite movie to feature goblins. Beautiful Goblins by the Jim Henson Company. If you remember the Spiderwick books, those had some amazing goblins in them as well. And of course, Warhammer has their own goblins, the Gloomspite Gitz. And those goblins have a mushroom theme. And mushrooms is the keyword for today, because I have just received a package. And inside of that package is the next release by Moonshard Miniatures. You might remember them from like a little segment in one of my previous videos where I showed a trailer for the Moon Wizards. This was like a big campaign that they were launching with these incredible sort of 80s retro sci-fi weird moon wizards that kind of like remind me of like the Carrion Royalty and the scholars in Elden Ring. And they're back. And they're making mushroom people now. So for the sake of transparency, this is a sponsored video. I received these minis for free and I also got paid to make this video. I would not make this video if I did not think the minis were awesome though. So that's a perk of being a YouTuber, I guess. But just so you know, and you can make your own decisions. And you don't feel like I'm sort of trying to influence your mind too much. Hope you enjoy. So this is a Frontiers campaign. So if you know My Mini Factory, it's a website where you can get like STL files to 3D print at home. I think you can even get them physically now. And so this is kind of like their version of Kickstarter or GameFound, right? It's a crowdfunding campaign. So this is live right now. You can go check it out. And I've got most of it here. So we're gonna unpack these resin miniatures. These are called the Moldy Shroomkin, by the way. Let's unpack these because there's some incredible stuff in here, including some miniatures that I think you could argue are goblins. They're goblins to me anyway, and we're gonna paint them. So I hope you're comfy. I hope you're ready. By the way, thank you so much for the incredible reactions to my last video. I was really surprised how well it did. I'm glad you liked the Mudshot to Gooberman transformation and the diorama build that I did. Anyway, enough blabbering. Let's look at some fantastic indie miniatures. All right, here we go. I always love doing these unboxing videos. It's so much fun just looking at miniatures. It's the type of videos I also just like to watch as well. And this is a lot of miniatures that you get in this set. And so what I got here, these are 3D printed resin miniatures, and they are pretty nice to work with. I wouldn't recommend kit bashing with them, but with these beautiful sculpts, there's really no need to. These are unique enough on their own. Look at these little guys. These are the sort of goblin-esque mushroom people I was talking about earlier in the video, and I am just absolutely in love with them. They look really sort of sinister and kind of nefarious, but also super dumb and goofy at the same time. They're called pathetic shroom bags, and they are supposedly the main cannon fodder of the Moldy Shroomkin army. And they are sort of described as being really pathetic and useless. Yeah, but just in large numbers, they might get ya. So they're just really fun. They're everything I love about a sort of little henchman type mini. Now also included here is the Sorcerer. I think this is more of a sort of a leader. There's a powerful wizard and alchemist, and they're evil creatures that hypnotize people that are lost in the forest. And you can see they're quite large. Also included are these tiny little guys. They're called Spore Cultivators. And silent and fast, the Spore Cultivators brew a disgusting and prolific mixture of spores within their bodies. And they use a special organ called a spore thrower to spread it. So they're sort of like your ranged units. And these are a bit more on the bigger and tougher side, and they're called the Fungipithecus gang, or Fungipithecus. And they're like disgusting and shameless, and these were spawned by the cosmic spore to correct the mistake, which was apparently the pathetic shroombags. So these are sort of more tough, and you can see they've got faces on their shields and on their weapons, which I think is so adorable. They're really, really characterful sculpts. I cannot wait to paint these as well. Man, they're just so fun. I can see them in like a game of Turnip 28 immediately, but they could work for so many games. These could be amazing proxies for your Gloomspite Gitz army. You could use these for whatever you'd like, really. I mean, these are really, really nice. This weird bag of assorted bits will assemble into a Rot Bloom artillery miniature. It's like a sort of a flower-like fungus with 3 legs, and it spits spores to continue its lineage, according to the campaign page, which is kind of disgusting and awful. Yeah, these are like created by wizards, and they turn seeds into living bombs that would now fall onto the enemies of the cosmic spore. So yeah, like a walking turret. You also get mushroom dogs. These are spore hounds, and they've got sort of faces reminiscent of that one mushroom that you've seen before. They're really fun and unique designs, and it's always nice to have sort of a vaguely cavalry unit included as well for games like Turn 28. These could be like bastards. And then there's a big giant centerpiece model as well. This is the Mushroom Giant, and this Colossus just eats anything that gets in its way. You can see there's sort of a few different parts. You've got the head that goes onto the body, and then those funny eye stalks, and then you just connect the legs and the arms. And the legs, they go into this predetermined position, although I guess you could change a little bit with some sculpting. But the arms have these points of rotation, which is really nice because you can sort of pose them however you'd like, and then your Mushroom Giant doesn't need to be the same as everybody else's. And in fact, I've seen some different poses already on the campaign page and on Instagram. So yeah, we'll just put these all together. If you've never worked with 3D printed resin before, there are some precautions and some concerns that you should be aware of. This is very toxic stuff. After it has cured, it's not as bad anymore, but you should be careful. And if you're sanding this stuff or cutting into it, it's best to wear a respirator, and just be aware of that. Now, apart from that, you just assemble everything normally with super glue. It's really easy. And to put them on their bases, I use Milliput, which is a 2-part epoxy sort of sculpting material. I think it's like used as like gap filler on boats and stuff like that as well. And then just cover the bases with some texture paint, put a coat of primer on there, and look how good they're looking. Man, these are really, really nice sculpts. I know I'm repeating myself, but this guy, I mean, look at him. He's got 3 arms, 2 of them are holding a hammer with a face. He's got stalk eyes. These little guys, everyone is like so unique and different, but they're all like simple enough that you can go with like an army painting scheme. The sort of crevices are all sculpted in a way where it will really like take contrast paints very well. Really excited to paint up all of these beautiful miniatures. And in fact, next video, I will be painting these pathetic shroom bags because I just fell in love with them so much. So stay tuned for that, and also let me know if you'd like me to paint the other ones as well. The Moldy Shroomkin, these models, the campaign is still active until like the end of the first week of June, I think. You can get these minis right away and you'll get like a discount for backing that Frontiers campaign, or you can wait until they're out on the site and just pay the regular price and get whatever you like. Do you want to paint some of these goblin mushroom men, or are you maybe more interested in the big guy? I know I'm pretty interested in the big guy, especially certain parts. Such fun sculpts. This is what I love about indie miniatures and how easy it is to get all sorts of different stuff now. This is crazy that this just came out of like a printer and now I'm holding it and I can just paint it. And nobody needed to buy like $50,000 machine to make the molds for that, right? I just love how many different ways there are to enjoy this hobby and that we get so many choices. Support your local indie sculptors, forge some connections, meet some people at conventions, ask them to sculpt some minis for a game you're working on. You'll be surprised at how reasonable the prices are, and what a cool thing to work with someone so talented. Link to the campaign is in the description. I'll leave a pinned comment as well, so you can check that out if you'd like to. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one, where I will paint the little mushroom gnomes or goblins. It's gonna be a really fun one. I'll see you there. Take care.